Hi everyone, Chibi Chat's here. Hi Miroshi.
And I'm Pin Karumi. Great to see you guys again. Thanks for coming and joining us for another week of anime chit chats.
So today we're going to talk about Kumoricon in Portland, Oregon. We're going to show some cosplays, which will come up in the video. Kumoricon's a big 3-day event. There's dealerships, gaming rooms, lots of different panels, great costumes. So
yeah, it was a really big highlight to see such really awesome cosplay. So we figured, we'd ask around, and we just found some really amazing costumes. So feel free to, just check out some of the stuff that's happening in the background as you listen to us.
Yeah, the convention center was great. It was like pretty big, pretty roomy, not too stuffy like we've had in the past. One problem was that the amenities shut around 7 o'clock-ish.
So amenities, to translate from British, means that the trains,
so the food
trains and things like that kind of shut down around 2 o'clock-ish. So there was kind of that weird feeling like, are we going to make the train to make it back to the hotel? Which brings us to the next point, which the hotel was off-site from the convention, which was a little tough. I kind of have a preference to have the hotel closer just because easier for cosplaying, of course.
Yeah, so, I would have liked to have been able to get a drink at some point during the convention, but that was difficult past a certain time, so that was one downside. But apart from that, I think the location was great. So we're going to talk
and also, too, location-wise, I thought it was really cool that they did integrate some of the panels into the hotel. So that was one definite highlight, and we'll talk about those things coming up.
So lots of different programming. My favorite actually was the Two Love Live panels, which is kind of a bit of an addiction of mine right now.
Big surprise.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an addiction of mine right now. So I got to nerd out with the Aquas and Muse a little bit, which was a lot of fun. We did some Iron cosplay, which Pin Karumi tore up the event, but for some reason we didn't come first. I'm not quite sure about why.
Well, you know what? People like Christmas. I made one of the Aquas. What was her name?
Ruby.
I made Ruby I made her a kimono in 5 minutes or less. And then some people made some Christmas stuff, but you know what? I like Christmas. So I guess, Christmas is going to trump kimono at any point. But anyway, it was pretty fun. Either way, it was all in good.
I'm not bitter.
Yeah, it was all in good. It was all in good sportsmanship, and that was a mean Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I thought was really cool is that I got to do cosplay chess. So this is one of the events that I got to cosplay in, I was supposed to be Sunday chess, but we were doing another event on Sunday, so I ended up doing the evening chess, and it was so fun. It had like a pajama theme, sleepover theme, and I think everyone that participated was just a riot, and it was just fun to just be up with a bunch of people that really totally got like the same nerdy vibe. It was a blast. Cosplay chess, definitely.
I think because it was such late at night panel, it was about a 12 o'clock panel, that they didn't script it too much, so they just let things go, and that was really part
cool.
of the fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We also got to go to the sake tasting panel, which was a really big highlight because it was absolutely fantastically staffed. The person that was leading it really knew his stuff, and it was a really great combination of both educational, like appropriate for the con, but also we got to drink sake.
Yeah, so we actually have attended a panel like this in the past where there was no sake drinking, and it was just things like how many sake bottles Japan produces in 1 year, and that was tough, as a late night event. So yeah, I really enjoyed that we got to drink a little bit. It was a lot more lighthearted, but it also had that educational balance to it. It was a really good panel, definitely worth.
Yeah.
Did we pay some money for it?
We did pay a little bit for that. And so if you go, if they do it again, definitely go to the sake panel.
Yeah, that has my seal of approval.
Lots of fun. Oh, this was a really cool costume with the gender swap from Nightmare Before Christmas. That was fantastic. There's an Elsa in there somewhere, and I thought she was so great. I love the Emperor's New Groot.
Okay, so that brings us into the next topic, the Maid Cafe. So this was on the hotel event. It was just a standard Maid Cafe concept. There was just maids, yeah?
Yeah, it was one of those things you did have to pay for. It did have specific scheduled times, and the reason for that was that it was a dinner service, which I thought was pretty interesting. It made it exciting because I was like, yes, this solves the dinner. Let's say, where can we have dinner? And I said, well, definitely the Maid Cafe. And so we went ahead. We didn't pre-register for this one because there were so many slots. We felt like, okay, well, we can just plug it in whenever we have a free moment.
I can't remember actually any indication that it was a prepaid event.
You could prepay for it, definitely. Okay. It wasn't, I think it was $10 to hold it or something like that, $10 a person. It wasn't very much. And one of the things that was really cute about it were the staff. I loved the maids. They were all volunteers, and we had a really spectacular maid that was a really highlight for us. She was really fantastic. But there were a few little kind of downsides to it.
I thought the food was pretty poor. And also, depending on how you'd paid, depended on whether you got the 3 courses. So when we sat down, we were actually only there for a main course, but we had to sit through a starter and a dessert course, which I think was just a bit strange. And we got lucky, actually, because someone offered us part of their starter course.
It was really sweet. Just another cosplayer shared with us, so I thought that was cute.
I think the panel would have benefited from just having a prepaid concept and maybe just being tea and cake. I think really sharing the experience with the maids was what was the best thing about the panel. So I don't think it had to be that 3-course meal.
Yeah, also, at the very end of the whole experience, we were kind of surprised by the fact that we were charged for everything. So the reservation charge was, I think, $10. And I think if we would have known, hey, this would have been the total amount, I was kind of surprised at the end. But I guess I shouldn't have been because it was a 3-course meal. But I guess, if you're coming to the con and you're a young con kid, you might have not thought that, oh man, I was gonna have to drop an extra $30, So I would say I agree. It would have been awesome to just have lots of treats, coffee, tea, and just hang out with the maids and just play some games, or just some group room games or something. I think that's all it
needs to be. I don't think it needs to be the 3-course.
Yeah,
the 3-course.
It was great. The maids were fantastic.
To end on a happy note, it was the first time that they'd done this event. So they're obviously working through it, and maybe if they're listening, they can take on a few of the suggestions that we've made. So this moves us on to our third main topic, which was the Lolita Tea Party, and this is what Pinkarumi was really looking forward to. She'd put a lot of effort into her.
Yeah, I dressed up as a Queen Lolita for this. It was my first time ever dressing in Lolita, and it was my first experience meeting other Lolitas and kind of being in the Lolita culture. I thought it was fantastic. So first of all, we paid for it, so we knew exactly what we were getting into and exactly what was supposed to happen. There was the con band. Kira was there, and they did an acoustic set live, and they were so good. Yeah, they were so good. And you did a meet and greet with the band in the room as well. There were games, and it was so fun to meet the other Lolitas.
And Pinkarumi was just totally fangirling out there,
It was great. Yeah. It was great.
I mean, I'm new to this culture, so the dresses were just great. There was lots of effort, lots of time put into them. There was a really cute Japanese Lolita that she had a little beret on with a green coat. Oh my god, she was cute.
Honestly, it was the cutest room you could have ever walked into. Every girl was just popping. It was just, everyone just looked so fantastic, and there were so many styles of Lolita represented, and there was one young woman that made her whole Lolita outfit of herself, and there were people that were wearing brand name Lolitas, and they were just also, here's some pictures of that coming up that you'll see in the background, but it was unbelievable. I feel like the staff did a great job pulling it together.
So
Fantastic.
I thought it was really cool to meet someone who'd put together their own Lolita costume, because I've often, when I meet these people, it's always about, they've always invested in Angelic Pretty, and it seems like it's a really big jump money-wise to actually get into. So it was really cool to see someone put their own stuff together.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And
there was a raffle at the end, and
raffle.
We took some prizes, didn't we? From
that was really cool. Like, I feel like they just went all the way. There were games to play at the beginning. There was a band performance. There was a meal that was fantastic and really well catered. I would say the only drawback was maybe the size of the space, but I think it's going to definitely grow, and I definitely look forward to doing it again next year.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed, there was a little introduction meet and greet. You had to do a bingo thing.
Yeah.
That was great. It got you speaking, so you weren't just all strangers at the table. So I hope you liked the cosplays. We showed off a few of them, and we'll definitely see you next year, and we're going to step up our cosplay game next year.
This
because
con was fantastic.
This
really
con,
inspired.
They went all out in it. So, hope you enjoyed the costumes. Hope you enjoyed the chat. If you were at Kumoricon, let us know. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, we'll see you next year at the con, and then tune in for our next Chibi chats. And see you guys soon.
See you soon.